Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whatever time it is while you're listening to this. Welcome to another Spanish class. We're getting towards the end of the semester. It's been so nice to have all of you in my class this semester, and I hope some of you continue learning Spanish if you're interested. Let's look at some of these flags, right? This is the flag of Honduras, right? Honduras, they're one of our allied countries, right? 邦交国, And then this is the flag of Venezuela, and this is the flag of Colombia, and this is the flag of Puerto Rico, right there, a U.S. territory. And then here's a map of Mexico, okay, just for fun. I thought I'd share that with you. All right, let's get started. So this is the last class of this semester, as far as I know, and at least it's the last video class. We'll be at school next week. So today I want to review cultures, people, places, and countries. And also I want to review some verbs. We've been learning about some verbs. The way to learn any European language is to learn how to use the verbs. All right. And then we'll look at some sentence patterns. And then I want to share some resources with you. 如果你想多学一些西班牙语哈，我会给你们一些网站。And we'll review counting 1 to 100, and we'll review the months. And then there are some easy conversation questions. And last but not least, I also want to review doing a self-intro. So if there are any questions, you can find me at school or leave a comment down below. Let's get started. At the beginning of the semester, I told you that there are many countries in the world that speak Spanish as a national language. Let's review some of them. I'll say their English names for now, just for fun. Right? Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, and that's the Mexican flag, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, Puerto Rico, Uruguay, Venezuela, and Spain. Right? So some of these countries are 邦交国, right? Like Guatemala and Honduras, and I think some other countries too. And here's a map of former Spanish colonies. As you can see, most of them were in the Americas, right? North and South America. It's really fun to look at old maps. You can see, although Spain is, not a large country, but they had many colonies all over the world. So that's why they speak Spanish today. It's too difficult to learn the names of all the Spanish-speaking countries, but I think we can learn some of them, okay? If you learn about half of these countries, that would be great. So let's say their names together. This time I'll say it with a more Spanish pronunciation. 跟着念 Argentina, Argentina, Chile, Chile, Colombia, Colombia, El Salvador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Guatemala, Honduras, Honduras, 记得 H 是不发音的哈。Mexico, Mexico. In Spanish, the X, you pronounce it like an H in English, right? Mexico. Nicaragua, Nicaragua. Panama, Panama. Peru, Peru. Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico. Venezuela, Venezuela. España, España. Let's say it one more time, okay? 再念一次哈。Argentina, Chile, Colombia, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Peru, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, España. All right, if you need more practice, please press pause, right? 先按暂停哈，再听一次这部分，然后再念一次哈。If you can learn half of these countries, that would be great 哈。好，试试看背到一半就好了哈。Okay, so someone you should know about, Simón Bolívar. Simón Bolívar. That's this guy here. So he is known as the liberator, right? El libertador. El libertador of many Latin American countries. As we mentioned before, many countries in South America and Central America were colonies of Spain, right? They were colonized by Spain. That's why they speak Spanish. So this guy, Simón Bolívar, he helped these countries get independence. 什么叫 independence? Right? 独立, huh? So the countries of Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Bolivia, Ecuador, and Panama, right, all became independent under his rule. So he was born in South America, but at that time, you know, as we mentioned, those countries were all Spanish colonies. So he went back to Spain and then studied in France, but then later returned and got the idea for Gran Colombia. Gran Colombia, right? So what is Gran Colombia? Right, 大哥伦比亚共和国, huh? So it's not just Colombia, it's many countries. Well, today it's many countries, but getting together and forming a big united country, right? Like we mentioned, Peru, and Ecuador, and Panama, Venezuela, and Colombia, right? They were all, they all became independent under his rule. So actually, he wanted to unite more Spanish-speaking countries. And then that way, there would be a big power, right? Instead of just having, you know, Russia, USA, China being the three big powers in the world. One of them could be the Gran Colombia because they have so much land and so many people. But unfortunately now there are so many small countries in Central America and South America. They're not united. They are not united now. It's too bad. So a republic that doesn't have a king, that was their goal. Because remember, Spain and the Netherlands and England, a lot of these countries were monarchies. That means they had a king or a queen, right? But in the Americas, right, like the USA and many places in South America, they got their independence. So there is no king now. They are republics, right? 共和国. Okay? So that's a picture of Simón Bolívar. He looked really cool. All right. If you're interested, you can learn more about him. Unfortunately, his country, right, the Gran Colombia, it didn't last very long. Only about 11 years or so, 11 or 12 years, right? I guess after he died, right? He died in 1830, and the country only lasted about less than 1 year after his death, right? Then they all became separate and individual countries. It's too bad, right? And that was their flag, Grand Colombia. So speaking of countries in Central and South America, let's look at this picture. I got this from the internet. This is from 外交部, and this shows some of the countries that recognize Taiwan in Central America, right? 拉丁美洲, 所谓的拉丁美洲的邦交国. All right, let's just say them one time. Belize, Republic of Guatemala, Haiti, the Republic of Honduras, Nicaragua, Republic of Paraguay, that's in South America, and Burkina Faso, 不是. All right, sorry, St. Christopher Islands, right? St. Lucia and St. Vincent. Okay, so yeah, we should know more about these countries. In fact, in many of them, you can speak Spanish, right? Like Paraguay, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, dang. Okay, so Spanish is very useful if you go to 中南美洲, and I really recommend you do if you have a chance. It's a great place. Fun people and a lot of interesting history. So as we mentioned, Spain colonized many countries in South and Central America, and in fact they still have a monarchy today. Their king is called King Philip VI, or King Felipe, right? Felipe, Philip in Spanish. All right, and this is his wife. She was a reporter and a journalist. He became king in 2014. So he's kind of a young king in a way. I think he's about 10 years older than I am. And that's the Spanish flag. Cool looking flag, I think. So this is King Felipe's mom, Queen Sofia. Right, she's very interesting. Actually, she's quite popular. She was born in Greece, right, to a royal family. And she abdicated in 2014, right? Her and her husband both abdicated in 2014. So their son, Felipe, could become the king. All right. So if you're interested in the monarchy, 皇室, 西班牙皇室, you can look for more information about them online. All right, so as mentioned, I just wanted to review some things. If you're bored, you can skip forward, it's okay, but I do want to review some things that we've been talking about. Since this is 体会班, 体会班, you know, I assume you didn't do a lot of homework or a lot of studying outside of class for Spanish. So we'll review some things now during this video. Okay, let's review the pronouns, okay? Please say it with me. Yo, tú, él, ella, or usted. Right? Remember, usted is like nin in Spanish. Now, fushu, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. Okay, so please practice saying these, right? And practice writing them too. Okay, very good. One thing we need to focus on in this class are the verbs, los verbos, All right, the verbs are important in any language, but especially in Spanish. You'll notice most Spanish verbs end with either an IR, like vivir, or an ER, like tener, tener, right? Also, many verbs end with AR too, like gustar, gustar. But today I want to focus on ER and IR verbs, right? These are words that end with an ER or IR, okay? So let's just say these 4 verbs one time. Vivir, vivir. Tener, tener. Comer, comer. Beber, beber. All right, so just repeat after me. The endings of the verbs are as follows. O, hemos, es, e, en. Right, so yo vivo. Nosotros vivimos. Tú vives. Él vive. Ellos viven. Okay, do you understand? All right, or for tener, right, we say yo tengo. Tú tienes. Él tiene. Nosotros tenemos. Ellos tienen. Okay, let's do 1 or 2 more. For comer, right, to eat. Yo como. Tú comes. Él or ella come. Nosotros comemos. Ellos comen, right? They eat. Ellos comen. All right. 1 more. Beber, to drink, right? Yo bebo. Tú bebes. Él or ella bebe. Nosotros bebemos. Ellos beben. They drink, right? Ellos beben. Yo bebo, right? I drink. Okay? Do you understand? This is a little bit difficult, right? Vivir, right? IR verb, so O, S, E, imos, en. Ellos viven. They live. Ellos viven, right? They live in some place, okay? How? It's very difficult. We'll have to do a lot of review. This is the most difficult part. This is the most difficult part of Spanish, right? 动词变化是西班牙语最难的部分，哈。所以就要有耐心，要坚持哈，要继续努力哈，慢慢来就好了哈。The AR verbs have a similar ending, right? O, as, a, amos, an. O, as, a, amos, an. Okay, so that's going to be the way that most verbs ends that have an AR. Okay. We'll do some examples. It'll become more obvious. For example, the verb hablar, hablar, right? That's an AR verb, right? It ends in AR, to talk, right? 说话. All right. So, 跟着念好了, we say yo hablo, right? Ends in O. Yo hablo. Tú hablas. Él, ella, or usted habla. Nosotros hablamos. Ellos, ellas, or ustedes hablan. Right? Hablar 的动词变化，动词变化。好，跟着念。Yo hablo con mis hermanos. What does that mean? Yo hablo con mis hermanos. Do you know? I speak with my brothers. ¿Hablas con tu padre? ¿Hablas con tu padre? Do you speak to your father? Or do you speak with your, do you speak with your father? 好，再来。Él habla el chino. Él habla el chino. He speaks Chinese. Él habla el chino. Nosotros hablamos por teléfono. Nosotros hablamos por teléfono. Right, we speak on the phone. Ellos hablan todos los días. Ellos hablan todos los días. Right, they speak every day. Please press pause now and say these sentences again and review the verb conjugations for hablar, right? Hablar 的动词变化表. I'll just say these sentences one more time. Yo hablo con mis hermanos. ¿Hablas con tu padre? Él habla el chino. Nosotros hablamos por teléfono. Ellos hablan todos los días. Okay, we talked about ER and IR verbs. Now I want to talk about AR verbs again. Let's just review and compare them, okay? So AR verbs like hablar, right? To speak or to say, right? 说话, hablar, right? Comer, to eat, right? We learned that last week, right? And vivir, we learned that 2 or 3 weeks ago. Vivir, right? To live, right? So hablar is to speak, comer, to eat, and vivir, to live. So these are the way the verbs conjugate, right? Yo hablo, tú hablas, usted habla, nosotros hablamos, ellos hablan, and comer, right? ER verbs and IR verbs are almost the same. Yo como, yo vivo, right? And for tú, tú comes, tú vives, right? So tú is you, right? You eat, you live. Dang dang. Él come, he eats. Él vive, he lives. Right? Nosotros comemos, we eat. Nosotros vivimos, we live. Ellos comen, they eat. Or ellos viven, they live. So please learn these verbs and the verb conjugations. Conjugation is 动词变化, huh? So learn these verbs: hablar, comer, vivir, right? To speak, to eat, and to live. And then learn these changes, right? 有一点难，这个是西班牙语最难的部分。Right? 动词变化是西班牙语最困难的地方，哈，要有耐心。So I hope you can learn at least half of these verbs. Okay, try to learn half of them. 学到一半就好了，哈。So just as a review, these are some verbs we've already learned in this class, right? Tener, right? So remember, yo tengo, tú tienes. Él or ella tiene, right? So that's the verb to have, right? Tener. Beber, to drink, right? Ser. Remember, in Spanish, there are two kinds of be 动词. One is ser, one is estar. So you use ser for saying like your job. Soy maestro. I'm a teacher, right? Soy maestro. Or soy de los Estados Unidos. I'm from the United States. Soy de los Estados Unidos. Estar, right? Yo estoy. Tú estás. Él está, right? You can use that for saying where you are right now. For example, estoy en mi casa. I'm at home. estoy en mi casa. Or estoy feliz, right? I am happy. Or él está muy feliz. He is very happy, right? So you can also use estar for your emotions, right? Also comer, right? To eat. Comer. Yo como fruta. I eat fruit, right? Él come hamburguesas. He eats hamburgers. Okay, something like that. Okay. Comemos pizza. We eat pizza. Comen espagueti, right? They eat spaghetti. Then gustar, right? That's a little bit different because we use it as a reflexive verb, right? Instead of saying, I like something, we say something is pleasing to me. For example, a mí me gusta la música, right? I like music, or music is pleasing to me, right? Or a ellos le gustan pizza, right? They like pizza. Tomar. So tomar can be to take or to drink, right? Like tomar café, right? To drink coffee. Or, I don't know, toma tu móvil, take your cell phone, okay? So please practice using these verbs. Try to learn about half of them, right? 学到一半就好了, right? 暂时是 OK 的, huh? And use the 动词变化表, huh? 动词变化表, huh? The one on the last slide, okay? Where it has all the AR and ER verbs, right? All right, very good. So let's do a quick review of el verbo tener, to have. 好，跟着念 yo tengo, tú tienes, él or ella or usted. 好，记得 usted is nin, 好 nin in Spanish. 好，再来复数的 nosotros tenemos. Then ellos, ellas o ustedes tienen. Ustedes is 你们, huh? Okay, tener is to have, okay? One more time. Yo tengo, tú tienes, él tiene, nosotros tenemos, ellos tienen. 好，多复习. All right, just as a review, you can practice this with a partner. ¿Tienes hambre? Right, this is from the verb tener, right, to have. ¿Tienes hambre? 怎么回答呢？两个选择. Sí, tengo hambre. Yes, I am hungry. Or no, no tengo hambre. I'm not hungry. ¿Tienes sueño? 一样，有两个选择. Sí, tengo sueño. Or no, no tengo sueño. I'm not tired. You can call one of your classmates online and say, ¿Tienes hambre? Or ¿Tienes sueño? And then they have to answer, see if they get it right. Also, estar. ¿Estás cansado? ¿Estás cansado? 一样有两个选择, huh? Sí o no. Sí, estoy muy cansado. No, no estoy cansado. Okay? And by the way, this is the 动词变化表 for estar, right? Okay. 好. Okay, let's practice this verb in sentences, okay? 跟着念. Yo vivo en Taipei. ¿Dónde vives tú? Right? So I live in Taipei. Where do you live? Right? Él vive en Taiwán. Right, he lives in Taiwan. 好，再来 Nosotros vivimos en Nueva Taipei. Right, we live in New Taipei City. Okay. Ellos viven con sus padres. Right, they live with their parents. All right, one more time, 跟着念. This is a little bit difficult. 好，跟着念. Yo vivo en Taipei. ¿Dónde vives tú? Él vive en Taiwán. Nosotros vivimos en Nueva Taipei. Ellos viven con sus padres. All right, so if this is still difficult for you, please press pause, right? 按暂停, huh? And practice saying the verb conjugations for vivir, right? Vivir, to live, the 动词变化, huh? Yo vivo, tú vives, él vive, nosotros vivimos, 等等. All right? Practice saying that and practice saying these sentences. And remember, at the bottom here, there are some new words. Please repeat after me. Con, padres, en. Okay, I think maybe you've seen some of these words before, but it's always good to review, okay? So this is vivir, right? To live, vivir. Okay, trabajar, trabajar, right? That's a new verb. It means to work, okay? So just for extra practice, yo trabajo, tú trabajas, él trabaja. Nosotros trabajamos. Ellos trabajan. Right, so remember the 动词变化. It's o, as, a, amos, an. Right, that's how you change the verb from trabajar. Right, you have to make it agree with the noun. Right, so yo trabajo en una escuela. Trabajo en una escuela. I work in a school, right? Escuela is school. Okay. 可以吗? Huh? En is in, right? And una is or one, right? I work in a school. ¿En qué trabajas? ¿En qué trabajas? Right? In what do you work, right? It means like what do you do, or what kind of job do you have, or what industry do you work in, like that. Ella trabaja en una oficina. Ella trabaja en una oficina. Can you guess what that means? What is oficina? An office, right? So she, ella, trabaja, works, in una oficina, office. She works in an office. 可以吗？会不会太难、太快什么的？好，不会哈。Nosotros trabajamos en Taiwán. Nosotros trabajamos en Taiwán. We work in Taiwan. Ellos trabajan en TSMC. Ellos trabajan en TSMC. Right, do you know TSMC? 台积电, huh? All right, so please press pause. 先按暂停, huh? 念几次这些句子。如果可以的话，用 trabajar 造句，把 trabajar 造句, huh? Try to write 2 sentences. You can use these examples, right? Trabajo en una oficina, right? Or whatever. 加油，有一点难哦。All right, let's learn another verb. Leer, leer. Right? So yo leo, tú lees. Él or ella lee. Nosotros leemos. Ellos leen. Okay, and then some new vocabulary here at the bottom. Novela, novela. Cuarto. Cuarto is bedroom. Su cuarto. It's like his or her bedroom. Or your bedroom. Your formal, huh? Libro. It's book. Libro de texto. A textbook. Muchos. One more time. I'll read these again. Novela. Su cuarto. Libro. Libro de texto. Muchos. 好，看一下句子，跟着念。Leo novelas. Leo novelas. So what does that mean? I read novels. 好。¿Qué tipo de libros lees tú? ¿Qué tipo de libros lees tú? What kind of books do you read? Tipo is like type of. Tipo de. What kind of books do you read? ¿Qué tipo de libros lees tú? ¿No? Ella lee en su cuarto. Ella lee en su cuarto. She reads in her room. Nosotros leemos el libro de texto. Nosotros leemos el libro de texto. We read the textbook. Ellos leen muchos libros en inglés. Ellos leen muchos libros en inglés. Can you guess what that means? Ellos leen, right? They read. Ellos leen muchos libros. Henduoshu. What kind of books? En inglés. Can you guess what inglés is? That's English. In English. Ellos leen muchos libros en inglés. Okay, 有一点难. So please press pause. 先按暂停，再念一遍这些句子哈。我先再念给你们听。Leo novelas. ¿Qué tipo de libros lees tú? Ella lee en su cuarto. Nosotros leemos el libro de texto. Ellos leen muchos libros en inglés. All right. We do need to review some colors. Los colores. Colores. 跟着念 rojo, rojo, azul, azul, amarillo, amarillo, rosa, rosa, verde, verde, violeta, violeta, gris, gris, marrón, marrón, naranja, naranja, blanco, blanco, negro, negro. Right? Remember, in Spanish, the ends of words changes. The ends of words change as necessary. So, right, if something's white that is feminine, you say it is blanca, right? Blanca. La camisa blanca, the white shirt, right? Camisa blanca. Okay, or if it's a black shirt, you say la camisa negra. Okay, so remember, some of these, the last letter changes according to whether or not it is a masculine or feminine noun. Please press pause and practice saying these colors again. Do you want me to read them for you? We'll say them one time. Rojo, azul, amarillo, rosa, verde, violeta, gris, marrón, naranja, blanco, negro.
Mi amor, vamos a practicar los colores.
Sí, el naranja es mi favorito.
¿Qué color es el cielo?
Es azul como el mar.
Bien. ¿Y estos bananos?
Amarillos como el sol.
¿Y estos limones?
Verdes como los árboles.
Bien hecho. ¿Y esta manzana?
Roja como tu lindo corazón.
All right. Let's do this together. I'll put a link to this worksheet if you want to download it and do it on paper, but I think you don't have to write it. It's okay. We can just speak it. That's fine. 用讲的就好了哈。All right, so do you remember how to do a self-introduction? Introducciones de ti mismo, right? Self-introduction. Okay, so fill in the blank. 填空, huh? Hola, me llamo 什么什么. What's your name, right? Hola, me llamo Eddie. Soy de 什么地方. Vivo en 什么地方. Tengo, right? 何岁. Me gusta something. What do you like? Okay, and I gave you some vocabulary. Maybe you can choose one of these things. 生词先念一次好了. Videojuegos. Video games, right? Videojuegos. Libro. Gente, right? People. Gente. Pizza. Bici, right? Bicycles. Bici. Helado. Helado. Ice cream, okay? So you can use some of these for me gusta. And also this is for the verb gustar, right? It's a reflexive verb, so we have to say a mí me gusta what? Okay, fill in the blank. All right, so please press pause and say this by yourself. And there are some more words down here. Right, with gustar, you can use another verb and then a noun. For example, a mí me gusta comer pizza. A mí me gusta comer pizza, right? I like to eat pizza, right? A mí me gusta comer pizza. Or you can just say the noun afterwards. A mí me gusta pizza. I like pizza. Do you understand the difference? It means almost the same thing. Either one is okay. So please press pause and complete this video worksheet on your own. Okay, and then I'll show you my answers in just a moment. Hopefully it's not too difficult. 会不会太难？不会，自我介绍没问题。然后 gustar 我们上个礼拜有复习了哈。好。说看看哈，用讲的就好了。如果你有你同班同学的 line 哈，你们可以用讲的哈。好，完成这个学习单。Okay, here are my answers from the worksheet. All right. Hola, me llamo Eddie. Soy de California. Vivo en Nueva Taipei. Tengo 42 años. Me gusta comer chocolate. Right? Chocolate is chocolate. It's spelled the same way in Spanish, but it's pronounced differently. Right? Me gusta comer chocolate. Right? I like to eat chocolate. 上面应该没问题吧？你们应该都看得懂，对不对？好，没问题哈。OK， 好，继续。El verbo gustar, the verb to like, right? A mí me gusta Taiwan. I can also say a mí me gusta vivir en Taiwan. I like to live in Taiwan, huh? Okay. A ti te gusta béisbol. You like baseball. A él le gusta comer fruta. He likes to eat fruit. A nosotros nos gusta chocolate. We like chocolate. A ellos les gustan las uvas. A ellos les gustan las uvas. Right? The grapes are pleasing to them. The grapes are pleasing to them, or they like the grapes. Okay? Remember las uvas from last week, where you learned about some fruits? All right, any questions about this? The important part for me, I think, is the self-introduction, right? 自我介绍哈。如果你学会了这部分，那就恭喜你们了，不简单。来，我们的教学目标哈，能够做一个西班牙语的自我介绍哈。All right, good job. So try to remember that part for yourself. Okay, 好 ，5 sentences now. All right, and just for extra practice, 跟着念 enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Quick counting, 1 to 100. Okay, let's do it together. That's another one of our goals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Do you remember 31? 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36,等等哈 to 40, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 等等 对不？到50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 等等，可以吗？Let's keep going. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 等等哈 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 等等哈 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 90, 等等哈 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Okay, 100. So, it takes time to memorize all these, but it's easy if you can just count from 10. 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, like that. Practice saying the numbers, and in no time you'll be able to say all the numbers 1 to 100. uno hasta 100. Okay? All right, one or two more new things. ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? And ¿cuántos años tienes? Okay, so we learned ¿cuántos años tienes, right? But did we practice saying our birthday? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? When is your birthday? Right, 你的生日几月几号? Right, mi cumpleaños es el conga de conga. 有一个句型哈. Mi cumpleaños es el 27 de febrero. Mi cumpleaños es el 27 de febrero. Okay, my birthday is the 27th of February. ¿Cuántos años tienes? Yo tengo dos conga años. Okay, tengo 47 años. So when is your birthday? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? Cumpleaños. Practice saying that. 先按暂停练习一下。
Lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado, domingo, the days of the week. Cha-cha-cha, ole!
All right, just for fun, I wanted to share some Spanish shows with you from Netflix. If you're interested, and if you have Netflix, you can watch Made in Mexico. It's a reality show. It's just about relationships and drama. Actually, there are a lot of Spanish shows on Netflix, right? Like Narcos, but that's a little bit violent for me. But anyway, this is a show I watched in my free time. And it's about rich people in their 30s, right, or late 20s to mid 30s. And they're all people from important families in Mexico. And a lot of them are fashion designers or models. It's kind of interesting. And it just talks about their relationships and drama. So that might be interesting if you like reality shows and you want to see some pictures of Mexico. It might be interesting for you. All right, and just a couple of famous people from Latin America. Like we talked about Celia Cruz before, Celia Cruz. Right, she was born in Cuba, and she's famous for singing and dancing, and she had a long career, right? Maybe, I don't know, she sang for, 60 years. And she sang all over the world, and she's really famous for having a good marriage, right? 她跟她老公的感情很好. Right, so she's very famous for that. Her husband is her manager. Right. And another guy we can talk about is Daddy Yankee. Right. So he's from Puerto Rico. He was born in 1976, so he's just a little bit older than I am. And he's famous for making the song Despacito with Luis Fonsi. Right. Maybe you've heard that song, Despacito. And actually, I didn't know that until recently. He was famous, or he was a really good baseball player too. In fact, he even tried out for the MLB a few times, but he didn't make it. But he almost was a professional baseball player. All right, and a couple of resources for you. If you want to learn more Spanish, you can go to the BBC's website for learning Spanish. It just says BBC's Languages and Spanish. It's a little bit difficult, but maybe after you study Spanish for 1 or 2 years, then you can go to this website and use some of the features, right? It's a good website. But first, I would recommend going to SpanishDict.com. SpanishDict.com. It's a great website for learning Spanish. They have some videos, and I usually use it as a dictionary. Okay, so you just type any Spanish word or English word, and it'll translate it for you. And I like it because it also has the conjugation, right? There are a lot of conjugation charts, right? 动词变化表, right? So it's a good place to learn the verb conjugations. So I would go here first. And if you have extra time or money and you're very serious about Spanish, you can go to a bushiban. There are a couple of good bushibans for learning Spanish in Taiwan. One is Omeya, right? I went there several years ago. It's quite good. And I had Jesus as my teacher. Do you know Jesus, right? 阿多嘎不教美语哈，那个 YouTuber 哈。And another good bushiban is CIEL, right? 欧协语文中心. One of my friends said that that's a really good bushiban, very professional. This is a picture of one of their classes. It's near 国父纪念馆. Right, so I haven't been there yet, but I think I'm going to try to go there maybe this summer if they open. So if you're very serious about Spanish, you can think about going to one of those two bushibans, or there are others. All right, that's all. It's been so great having you in my class this semester. And as I said earlier, if you're interested in Spanish, I hope you can learn more in your free time. Keep learning, and you can come by my office anytime, right? See you